Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you more about losses. I've been talking about that in the past and I'll continue to talk about it in the future because that's how my YouTube channel will work. The information stays the same. I'll add more to it with time as my knowledge progresses, but I'm going to keep reminding you guys because people are humans and people will do, the right people will do things that work for them. What I do works for me, and what I teach you guys will work for you too if it works for you. That's that. That's how I tell you guys to know what's right. And what's not right is by practicing it. So these YouTubers will teach things, and then if they work, then you'll keep doing them. If it doesn't work, if you keep doing them, you'll drive yourself insane. You'll go completely mad. You'll go crazy. You'll feel like things are wrong. That's how people end up losing their minds. So there's a lot of law of attraction people on YouTube, a lot of law of attraction people on TikTok, which those ones are kind of muted because of algorithm reasons, but how do you know who to follow? Well, follow your intuition, ask God for knowledge, ask him to point you to where you know what'll work for you. Ask him to help armor you with knowledge, and God will, and your guardian angels will be able to do so much more to help you guys. Now, let's get back to the topic of losses. The thing is, people are very, very happy in their comfort zones. Sometimes to encounter a loss would really hurt someone's ego or pride. Or even if that person doesn't have ego or pride, it would just hurt that person because they don't really know why they lost. It's just, and I'm talking about losses in any aspect of your life. It could be mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, with your love life, etc. But if you don't try something, you can't win something. This goes for, I'm going to use scratch-off tickets as an example. I'm going to use entrepreneurs as an example. I'm going to use people's love life as an example. I'll use a couple examples in this video, but I'm going to use, most importantly, working out and fitness as an example because a lot of people are afraid to go to the gym because they're afraid of what people will think of them. But I understand people and the nature of people, but you lose every ounce of progress by not putting yourself there. Most of the time, people in the gym don't know what they're doing anyway. I go to the gym, I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make something up, or I'll just look at someone doing something I've never done before, try it, and if it works, I'll do it. If it doesn't, okay, fine. That's the nature of it. You have to get uncomfortable, or so get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Put yourself in a place that when you lose, it can be with anything, that you understand why you lost, and that's just a symptom of that your loss is actually making you stronger, because if you ever pay attention, life is about your story. If people who win and just they win the first time they try, the people don't even feel like they deserve it. The people don't feel like win. A lot of people who win on their first attempt of whatever they're doing, that usually goes anyway. If you pay attention to people who are scratch-off ticket winners, lottery winners, etc., most people who win on the first time they play, they waste it as fast as they possibly can because they think it's just like that. They haven't had enough losses behind them to really understand how it works. Do some research on people who win on their first try ever. A lot of them just waste it away because they're like, well, it was meant to happen like that, or like, oh, well, it'll come back because I could just win another time, and they'll never win after that. And it's kind of like has-been energy. So that's worth looking into, but when people don't even, and like I said, with love life, sometimes people don't have experience, and it depends on how important your love life is to you. Sometimes you'll find that self-love is more important by putting yourself out there more and realizing that you are confident versus, hey, I should have said hi to someone and I never did. And you'll just live with that regret versus you said hi to them, you realize you enjoyed your own energy with your own energy by yourself, and then you realize how to love yourself more, and now you're attracting people versus going up to people. It's just an example. You learn more about yourself when you lose. And your losses are not even losses. Like, you won by trying. The real loss, like the unbeneficial loss, is by not doing anything, by not trying. How scary is it to be the same person you were last year, 2 or 3 years from now? Like, think about it like that. I'll use this as an example. Think of someone you know from high school. You guys know what I'm talking about. Take a person from high school who just has not changed at all. At all. Like that person is just there, frozen in time. Right? And now, 6 years goes by. 7 years goes by. That person's identical, except for they have they have children, they have records, they have, because in Florida, most people who are who I went to high school with, who are in the same exact place, now have kids in jail records for some reason. I don't know why, that's just a trend, and it was a decent high school, too. Not going to tell you guys where I went to high school. Not going to answer security questions. I remember I was on a live, and someone joined the live, and they're like, can you tell me what your teacher's middle name was, and what color your third favorite color is? I'm like, okay, these are security questions, but back to the video topic. When it comes to you guys losing, if you guys understood that your loss is just a sign of your win, then you wouldn't really feel that badly about it. I'll give you guys an example. There's a whole other side of YouTube where there's just scratch-off winners, and they share how they win so often. Like, they win frequently. There's a guy who goes on live and just wins tickets on live. How is he able to do that? It's because he knows the ratios at the back of the ticket. Those ratios follow the law of mathematics, and it's basically a science and an intuition, and he wins very frequently. When I play scratch-offs, I win very frequently too. But I don't abuse it. If you abuse it, then the energy of abuse goes into it, and it works against you. So, especially, that's why people who take my methods, it works for them. They're like, oh my god, it worked! Oh, Stoneman! And they play a $1 ticket and they win over $1,000. And like, oh, it worked, Stoneman! I said, because you're aligned when you did it, you're giving yourself to the Most High God, and you didn't put so much energy on it to the point where you just, after a point in time, that won't be a lot of money to you, and then you'll win more. It's just how it works. I'm going to use another category of people as an example. There's a category of people, and you might be one of them, or you might not be one of them, but people who kind of depend on the scratch-offs. Yeah, that puts an end to any form of winning on the scratch-off, because the scratch-offs, or any form of Powerball, etc., is supposed to be fun. It's a game. Life's a game. But when you put, let's just say, even in relationship terms, your relationship's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be happy. That's why two people come together. It's because they're happy with each other. They enjoy each other's energy. So let's just say two people get married. But instead of for that relationship being fun, that person's putting all their energy on someone in the relationship's putting all their energy to the point where it's strangely like, I think they're cheating. Well, they most likely are because you manifested that, but that's a topic for another video. But how does this come to relate to winning and losing? Because you have to realize that it's an energy. When you lose after trying and you're not sore about it, you can be sore, but not in the sense sore in the sense that this is like, you can be sore as and don't blame your angels. Most importantly, don't blame God. The thing is, it's in your favor. It's just teaching you. Your losses are lessons, but you'll have a lot less lessons and a lot less losses when you know certain things work and when certain things don't work. For example, I'm going to use scratch-offs as an example. I'm going to go back to the gym as an example. You can apply this to any area of your life that you're trying to win or lose. It could be with a job. Sometimes, let me use this example first, but okay. Sometimes when you guys are applying to multiple jobs and you're not getting one of them, it's because those losses are telling you that to look somewhere else. But sometimes people get offended, like, why are my angels so mean? What? I hate these angels. Some people flip out at their angels. The angels understand it. They're like, your angels will be like, well, we get it. This person's really unhappy, but they have to take more accountability. And when you understand that the it's actually God pointing you on the right track. So if you want protection, you were asking God to help get you a job that would have just been the worst job of your life. Or maybe because some of you have these small businesses that generate a lot outside of your job, and you don't need the job. You're just comfortable at the job, and you would do really well with your hair salon, with people there are people with just certain set of abilities that their job is what's killing their blessings. They don't want to hear that. Them having losses at work is pointing them to, hey, if you do this in your own time, you can basically hire the person you can hire your manager at your job. It's that simple. That's it. It's your losses are just pointing you to your wins. Like, hey, it's that way. Now, your losses act like muscle too. And in the gym, you lose energy in the gym, but you don't lose the energy. You lose time in the gym, but you don't lose the time. When you first start out, I'm going to talk about this. When you first start out in the gym, it feels like you're just in pain. It feels like there's no gains. And there's probably 3 months, maybe the average is 3 months. Okay, 1 month, then 3 months, and when people see progress, and they stop seeing progress. Usually the 6th to 8th month is when they see the most massive amount of progress, but it's the most quietest amount. It's the most quietest little amount of progress you could ever see. But that person being so in pain, just uncomfortable, feeling like they're losing because they don't know what they're doing. They went through so many losses. And if you go to the gym, you know what I'm talking about. You show up to the gym, you're just like, what is this? What are these equipments? What are these people doing? I feel like people are watching me. I don't know what I'm doing. It's okay. You win because you showed up. If that was your loss, it's not knowing what you're doing, well, you're ahead of over 80% of people, especially from New Year's resolutions. And it's Valentine's Day today. Happy Valentine's. You watched my video from yesterday because you are more than just a flame. You are a bonfire and a fire. You are lit. And it looks like there's a little flame behind me lit. It's like a bonfire flame, but that's pretty cool. It looks like Gabriel's wings are on my head. Does anyone else notice that? I just noticed that right now, but because I'm looking at the little flame part. The thing is, watch that video from yesterday for people who are not feeling right on Valentine's Day today, because I talk about that a lot. You're being set up for failure, but not the right kind of failure. For example, sometimes, and what about relationships, or talking to people, or meeting new people, because it's trained in society that everyone wants a relationship. They don't know why, but they want a relationship. They think that something outside of themselves will fulfill that void. It's societal programming. It's something that people train their children this. Like, it's in kids' cartoons now. It's like, okay, marriage, blah, 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 boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. And this is how it's supposed to be. It's like, but there's no reason to why. It's like, okay, this is what you have to find because this will make you happy. I talked about that yesterday. So some people don't know that until they go through multiple relationships. If you're one of those people who go through multiple relationships and realize you're happier alone, were those relationships losses, or did you learn so much about yourself in those relationships to the point where you're like, okay, I'm happy by myself. If someone comes along, then great. But my energy is worth protecting. My peace is worth protecting. And you would not have known that if you were not in bad relationships, because you'd still be attracting that. You'd be attracting semi-bad relationships, but unless God didn't let you into that relationship that somehow you got yourself into, because your free will is yours and God will help you with anything you ask for. Even if it's in terms of lessons to not ask for it again. So when it comes to your love life, sometimes you'll have it seems like a bunch of losses, but it will lead up to you realizing your own value and making you stronger into what basically a winner. So, and that it's just that, because society teaches that you're 50%, you're a half, you're not a whole. You have to find your other half. How can you imagine telling someone that, like, you're 50%, go find your other 50%, like go find the other half of yourself, because you're not whole. 50% in college on a test is an F. You're an F. It's basically telling someone you're a failure if you're saying to someone you're a 50%, and that's how people are brought up. It's like you got to find the other half. The function of marriage back then was a completely different function for marriage now. It's like, okay, I have to get married because I see my friends getting married. And then people are not happy in their marriages when they're still supposed to be learning about themselves. We didn't know fully about ourselves in past lives. We didn't know fully about ourselves until we got to, even in the in-between stages, we're still figuring stuff out about who we are as a soul. So every last loss that we encounter makes us strong. So when we get uncomfortable to the point where you're losing, then you're gaining. An example I use very often, and this is the last example, is for people who are entrepreneurs and start studying some of these billionaires, some of these millionaires who have just, they're so okay with losing. And I'm not gonna use any examples for anything at all, because people are like, oh, use the Super Bowl example. I'm not talking about the Super Bowl. Only Super Bowl I care about is the Super Bowl of the firmament. But oh, that's a good one. Yeah, so the super that's the most important Super Bowl, the firmament. But and what's above the firmament? The thing is, that's the real Super Bowl. I'm gonna make a video topic about that. But people are like, oh, stop, man. Okay, whatever. Because some people will hear what I have to say and they'll be like, that's shocking. You can't say that. No one said that before. I'm like, well, first time you hear it then. But when it comes in terms of entrepreneurs, the people who are comfortable losing, and do your research, guys. Don't just take what I have to say. Look at people who are the most successful. Those people are just flat out, and they knew it too. They made so many losses, and they were just viciously persistent. They're like, okay, this loss doesn't represent me. This loss doesn't represent me. They might have gone 2 years with losses every single day. They made it big once, and now people are making fun of them, saying, you're entitled. Oh, you have a platinum spork in your mouth, or what do they call it? A golden fork or golden spoon? I don't know. You have a platinum straw. I don't know the example. I forgot what the exact name is. The golden utensil. Silver spoon? There we go. Silver spoon. I think I got that one correct. But you have that in your mouth. And the people are like, they've hit some really bad losses, and they're just okay with losing. They understand when they lose, they're not going to repeat a same pattern, or that their losses kind of is like a recipe as to adding up to them winning big. And when they win big, they're still making losses. You better believe people who are, billionaires are still having losses, but those losses don't mean anything anymore because they made it big once. All it takes is one. 1 second is how fast a life can end. 1 second is how fast a life can begin. 1 second is as fast as someone scratches off a scratch-off ticket and it's over $1 million and that person's an instant millionaire. And that's happened. There's just watch it on YouTube. There's people who have learned how to win scratch-offs. It's really not as hard as people think. People don't use spirituality, but when you incorporate spirituality, it makes it that much easier, as long as you don't abuse it and you do it in a life-fulfilled way. But losing just means you're winning. How well you take a loss is also very important as to, because if you start taking losses personal, you're going to be really, really out of luck. And you're going to feel out of luck, and you're going to attract bad luck. So understand that every single loss that you are facing, every time a loss happens, it just means you're this much more closer to the big win. And all you need is one big win. Just one big win will overshadow 100,000 losses. Yeah. If you have any questions, guys, ask them in the comments section. Your losses are making you strong. And essentially and eventually, when you're persistent, because I'm prophesizing that you guys are going to be persistent, you're getting to where you're asking to be. Just know that, the biggest thing is ask God for help. Assume He's helping you. Assume those losses are kind of challenging the path that you're on that is not working, and it's just putting you closer to your win. So every time you lose, be like, okay, thank you, God, for showing me that this was not 100% correct. Or maybe what I did is I'm still learning. Just please help me become stronger at this, or have more aspects of intuition, more spiritual and physical ability to do this, etc. And you're going to get there. It's that simple. It's not about if, it's about when. It's about when. If you're persistent and you're doing research and you have the energy behind it. There are some YouTubers who are famous because I'm studying certain YouTubers. They flat out some of them admit, they're like, I have no business being YouTube famous. I just did this for so long that it just happened anyway. It's just like, whatever. And I watch it. I'm like, that's exactly what I've been teaching. For people who are like, Stone Man, you should have more viewers. They're coming. You can watch this video in about a year from now. They're coming. The law of mathematics goes. So the main message is helping people and getting my message out. These videos will be here forever. Even after I pass, or after, if the rapture is not before that, for the people who stay on Earth. I mean, the message will be here as long as God lets them be. Because they're truly helping people and they're truly moving people closer to God. So, essentially, you can't do this on your own, and you're not alone. You wake up in the morning with God in yourself. You go to bed with God in yourself. Get into a habit of, even throughout the day, praying and talking to God. It's very important to be talking to God. So don't just, for people who are new and learning how to move closer to God, it's a good habit to talk to Him throughout the day as well, even in your head if you have to. If you don't want to be heard out loud, just talk to Him in your head. He's always with you and He's always around you. Just like your angels that He sends to you. And people think, that's the thing, people don't think that God's watching sometimes. He's watching every second. If you have any questions, guys, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.